Anybody that makes it really fun, like fun dude, just maybe not knows what
Oh,
he's doing.
Zach. I mean, Zach makes it really fun because he sends out at least a trade every day. He sent out 5 yesterday, but he puts time expirations on them. So he'll text the group and say, like, MJ, trade, you have 5 minutes. It's
Hey, everybody, and welcome once again to another edition of the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media. Got my Royals hat on. That means one thing. Vinnie Pasquantino will be sitting cross-legged in his home somewhere because the Wi-Fi sucks. Did I get that right?
That is, I mean, you couldn't have gotten it more to a T. I'm 3 feet away from my router, so we should be okay. But we'll see. You never know what's going to happen.
We can fix that, right? I mean, it's probably been 5 or 6 weeks since we last spoke, so you could probably have fixed that by now. So you're comfortable.
As a somewhat of a public figure, I try my best not to tear companies down, but AT&T has really screwed me over this season at my house to the point where when my phone is up, I will be getting a new phone service because I'm just tired of dealing with them. So it's bad. There's an entire story of how the Wi-Fi went this year. I currently have 2 modems and 2 extenders right now because they messed up my order so bad that they just sent me new equipment. It cuts off every once in a while. I currently have a massive Ethernet cable, a 50-foot Ethernet cable going to my PlayStation across the room. So, yeah, I'm making some things happen.
You look so uncomfortable. I feel terribly for you. You sure you don't want to readjust before we really dive into what's going on?
I'd rather get through a podcast clean than have to start over like we've done before. So I'd rather sit uncomfortably for 40 minutes to yeah, I'm good.
By the way, did you have first day of school or something? You look like you got a fresh cut. You look like you're 10 years younger than the last time we talked.
I have gotten a few haircuts since the last time we've talked. I'm working on a new style, getting it a little bit shorter, cleaning up the sides a little bit more. And then I also just got back from rehab and I showered. That was the last thing I did. So it's pretty wet right now, which probably makes it look shorter.
Got it. Not the rehab. Rehab for shoulder.
Physical rehab. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I've got almost full mobility back in my shoulder. I almost knocked my computer down doing that. I'm 12 weeks out now, 12 weeks out as of yesterday, which means I can lift again. So I'm currently dead. I've been in the weight room for the past 2 days because I've been able to. And after this Zoom, I'm going to go to sleep. That's what I'm going to do the rest of the day. So yeah, I'm excited to have gotten back in the weight room, can start more baseball activities. I threw for the first time since getting hurt yesterday. So things are happening in my world for the first time in a while.
Okay, this is wonderful. So when you go back in the weight room for the first time in a while, is it like your first day ever again lifting weights, like when you were 14 or
It's
something?
amazing how much strength you can lose. Like I've been doing stuff the past 8 weeks or so of more so machine work, different things like that to just try to maintain strength, but it's amazing how quickly it will go. I was doing like 145 pounds of a deadlift today, and I thought I was going to die. My hamstrings almost gave out. I mean, it was just doing some squats, and it's like, wow, man, my hamstring really doesn't like this today. So we got a little bit of extra work done, but it was just funny how weak I was for day one back in the weight room.
You're looking skinnier too. Have we lost some more weight?
We're down weight. We're excited about where we're at. Yeah, things are working.
That tuxedo is going to fit nice.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe get a fake tan before it too. Everything, you never know.
Fake tan, Vinny?
Yeah, like a WWE wrestler, just like that.
I would love to see you just walk down shirtless in the tights and the high boots.
Mm-hmm.
God, that'd be perfect.
I could do it.
Are you a wrestling guy?
I am. At least I more so used to be, but I now have an annual tradition with one of my buddies, Alex, that we go to the Royal Rumble every year. So we went to it last year. It was our first one. I'm calling it an annual tradition, even though we've only done it once, but we're planning on doing it again. So yeah, WWE's done a really cool job of taking care of us, which was awesome. So yeah, I am a fan.
The Royal Rumble is I'm not the biggest wrestling guy in the world, but the Royal Rumble is spectacular. Where is it next year?
Tampa. It's in the Trop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's basically home base for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Interesting. I was wondering if during rehab you were going to slice off your own Achilles and maybe send it to New York.
If that's how it worked, I probably wouldn't make that sacrifice, but I know plenty of other Jets fans that don't also play a professional sport and need their Achilles. So there's plenty of other people that could do that for me. I'm trying to get back on the field, so I can't give away my Achilles at this moment. But yeah, that sucked, huh? That really, really sucked.
We were texting, and I felt terribly. You're not my only Jets friend. I've got a bunch of them. You know, our producer here, Robbie Scirocco, feel terribly for him. Another one, Dan Rourke. He's not the biggest Jets fan, but he's more of a Yankees guy. Another one of our producers here. My guy, Lowell Singer, who is in his mid-50s and has been a Jets fan his entire life, could not stop talking about Aaron Rodgers every day. And now this kind of take me through the entire emotional gamut. It'll be an interesting perspective because here you are as a professional ball player, but also a diehard sports fan. So give it to me.
Well, first off, tell me why I'm believing in Zach Wilson. I mean, I am. I'm fully bought in. I just want to start with that. Like, for some reason, I think whatever.
You're trying to will it into existence. That's what you're doing here.
To be honest, we could talk about this more once the baseball season ends. But yeah, I've got some stories about what happened that night. None that I can talk about today. But after the baseball season ends, I will be able to.
But you can tell me how you felt about it just take me through the idea of watching your season essentially go down in flames as a fan.
Yeah, it's almost kind of comical in some ways because I didn't even get to see him complete a pass. He got pressured every single drop back he had. The only offense that there was a 20-yard Breece Hall run. So you go into a season full of hope, but also being realistic about what's going on. And you're like, all right, you're playing the Bills, playing one of the best teams in the league. You know, it's going to be a tough first 6 weeks pretty much. And then they come out, the defense is playing with their hair on fire. Special teams is unbelievable. And then that happens immediately. And it's just crushing. And yeah, to be honest, I'm amazed that the Jets played as well as they did after that happened, because I have multiple reports that when that happened, nobody was watching the game until he went back into the locker room. The blue tent was where everybody was looking. Like, nobody was paying any attention to the football game. So that's just as a fan perspective. But I was amazed that they were able to play as well as they did with that happening. Because, I mean, if you're in that clubhouse, like, you get one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and then all of a sudden he gets taken out of the game that quickly. That's just a depressing moment. And I was impressed with how Zach Wilson handled himself. I was impressed with how the defense played. And Robert Saleh, I mean, I want him to be the Jets head coach for life after the performance he was able to get them to put on after that happened.
I loved it when he sprinted down after Gibson's punt return, the walk-off punt return. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, when you could see the space opening up on the left side of the field, it was like, oh my God, they're going to get into field goal range. And Greg Zuerlein's been pretty good. And then the Bills punter just let him walk into the end zone, which was nice of him. So yeah, that was crazy. And then to see Saleh running after Gibson the way he did, it was just that was a special night for sure.
Anybody else hungry out there? Me. Anybody during the fall not have time to meal prep? Me. That's why I want to introduce you to HelloFresh. HelloFresh handles all the meal planning and shopping to deliver everything you need to cook up a tasty meal right in the confines of your own home. They do the hard part. You get to take the credit and enjoy what's in your belly. And when it comes to options, more is more. That's why HelloFresh's menu includes 40 recipes and over 100 add-on items to choose from each and every week. As I mentioned, we're back in the swing of things here in fall. You got a lot of stuff to do. You got to take your kids everywhere. You know what you don't need to do? Make another trip to the grocery store. You know what else you don't need to do? Sit there and chop and dice and slice and boil. I'm done with all that stuff. Here with HelloFresh, easy recipes, 15-minute meals. You get a tasty dinner on the table in less time than it takes to order takeout or delivery. HelloFresh It's more than just dinners as well. You can stock your fridge with easy breakfast, some quick time lunches, nice fresh snacks. Just shop HelloFresh Market and add any of those tasty time-saving solutions to your weekly box. I love it. I guarantee you'll love it. And that someone special in your life will dig it as well. So head on over to HelloFresh.com/50rotation. Once again, that's the code 50rotation. You're probably thinking, why is that? You get 50% off, plus 15% off the next 2 months. That is HelloFresh.com/50rotation. Start using America's #1 meal kit today. You don't really believe that they still have a shot, do you?
Well, the way I'm looking at it is they need to go 2-3 over their next 5. They're at Dallas. They're home against New England. Then they're home against the Chiefs. Then they're at Denver, and then home against Philly. And then the schedule opens up where you're playing Houston, Atlanta, the Giants, Washington, New England another time. You got the Dolphins twice. Then you got the Bills again. But if you can get through these first 6, 3-3, I mean, their defense is going to keep them in every single game. That's the frustrating part, is I'm going to be sweating out every one of these games for the rest of the year because it's going to be close. I say that, and they go down to Dallas this week and they lose by 25. But, the defense is so good that, yeah.
Well, so a few things. For people that don't know, and you've heard Vinny talk about his passion for the New York Jets. Like, when the season's over, you're basically going to almost like every game that you can, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been a fan my entire life. I was able to work some things out where I was able to get season tickets, and the plan was to go for every single game that I was able to be at. That's still the plan. But yeah, I almost consider myself an OG Jets fan now with how many Jets fans have come out of the woodwork when Rodgers came over. We're going to find out who's a real Jets fan now. And the only reason I picked the Jets is because Vinnie Testaverde was the quarterback. And then he blew his – I didn't even know he blew his Achilles out in 1999. Like, that was new to me. And then knowing that he was at the game and then being a captain on the anniversary of when that happened, it's just that's all I have to say about that. It's just
So I will read to you a text chain with my buddy Lowell, who is as I told you, a diehard Jets fan. All I said was 2 words to him. Sorry, dude. He is overseas. He woke up to news of what was transpiring, and he sent me a text chain with one of his buddies that's a Jets fan. So his buddy said, hey, let's hope that Rodgers doesn't tear his Achilles during game 1, a la Vinny.
Yeah.
He put that in the stratosphere.
It was amazing how many things I saw after the fact where people had predicted it before the game, just either being dicks or actually saying that, hey, just let you know this happened 24 years ago.
I did.
It's just crazy. And again, though, I keep going back to how did they win that game? And then you look at, what the other quarterback was doing. But I look at that as was the defense putting so much pressure on him that he felt the need to have to do it? I know he's got the most turnovers over the past calendar year, but the defense is really good and they're going to keep him in games. And then it's just a matter of if you can literally, I know quarterbacks hate this, but if you can just have a game manager on the field that doesn't turn the ball over, they might not win you the game, but they're not going to lose you the game, then they've probably got a shot.
I have to be truthful with you. We started a new show called Football Today, so we're going twice a week. Yours truly and Bobby Skinner from Talking Giants. We both predicted. I think he predicted 7-10. I went 8-9.
Yeah.
Are you upset?
No. I get it. I hope you're wrong, and if you are wrong, I'm going to talk a bunch of shit to you. But yeah, I get it. I totally get it. So that's why I'm saying if they can be 3-3 after their first 6, then the schedule opens up a little bit and they've got a shot.
He'll be coach of the year if it's 3-3 after 6. We'll see about all that. I don't know. All right. Fantasy football. Did you ever make it up to the draft?
I did not make it up to the draft. I did the draft from home. physical rehab is a little bit more important in my life right now. So we made the business decision to stay at the home facilities where you have a little bit more room and space and time to get your stuff done. So we made the business decision there as opposed to going to the fantasy draft.
All right. So for people that weren't following along, you guys held the draft while the team was playing in Seattle, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So you joined it via Zoom, I imagine.
That's right.
And you are the commissioner.
That's also correct.
Okay, how did it all go down? Give me a show run here. Who was the craziest person in the draft? Whose team ended up the best? What role did you play? I want the whole thing.
Well, for me, it started with full panic. So I had the 10th pick. So I was hoping to get either a high-level running back, a la Saquon, who I did get, and then I was hoping to get Garrett Wilson on the wraparound. Well, the guy who picked 12th, Brad Keller, who also picked 13th, sniped Garrett Wilson from me. And then right in front of that, I think it was Amon-Ra St. Brown who went. And those were my two options at 14 or at 15 where I was picking. So I fully panicked, then took Tony Pollard. And then with my third pick, I took Najee Harris. So I picked 3 running backs immediately. And just out of pure panic because I didn't know what to do. And then before week 1, I traded away Tony Pollard. Yeah, I went full panic mode and didn't know what to do.
What did you trade Tony Pollard for?
DK, Dalvin Cook, and Breece Hall. So that trade actually ended up being like, okay.
Yeah, week 1.
Yeah. So, yeah, I won week 1. So I'm happy about that. I 1-0, actually 2-0, because we do, if you finish in the top 6, like top half of the league and points scored, you also get another win.
What?
Yeah. So
where did this come from?
I don't know if it's new or not, but so every week you get 2 combined wins or losses. So if you win your matchup, you get a win. But if you finish in the top half of the league in points scored, you get a win. So you could lose your matchup, but still get a win because you scored a lot of points. It basically eliminates the luck aspect of sometimes you just have a season where you score a ton and lose a bunch, or you don't score at all and you win a bunch. It kind of like evens that out a little bit.
That's how sports go.
Yeah, well, we changed it up this year. What I will say is I also did an auction draft this year, and that's what I want to do for the rest of my life for fantasy draft, because then you're not so dependent on where you're picking. It's kind of like if you want a player, go get them.
What was your payroll?
$200.
So somebody went for $47 or.
I have a buddy of mine from high school was in this draft, and he took Patrick Mahomes at $70. That was the highest. I think Justin Jefferson went for like 67, and Mahomes went at 70.
Is your friend unemployed because he can't be that bright?
That was a really bad pick. We've made a lot of fun of him. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Today's episode of the Chris Rose Rotation, sponsored by these guys at Shady Rays. I want you to take on the sun with gear that is built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays, they have you covered with these premium polarized shades at a very affordable price. Shady Rays offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair ever worn. They got these durable frames, extremely clear optics. You look great, by the way. That's not all. Heard me talk about it before. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in the history of eyewear. Every pair of these bad boys is backed by lost and broken replacements. What does that mean? Even on day 1 of ownership, if you lose these things in the ocean, if you sit on them while you're in your car, you call up Shady Rays and you say, I broke my, and they're going to stop you right there. They say, Rose, we don't want to hear your sorry-ass excuse anymore. All we want to do is send you a brand new pair of Shady Rays. We got your address on file. They're going to be there in no time. You say, well, hold on. I just bought them the other day. They don't care. They want to help you out. They want you looking and feeling your best. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. What do? Head on over to shadyrays.com. You use that code word ROSE. You're going to get 50% off 2+ pair of polarized sunglasses. And that offer also now applies to the custom Jimmy and Jake collab shades. That's right. I saw these things when we were taping Floorball 2. I tried both on. You feel great. You might not be as cool as Jimmy and Jake, but you certainly can look that way thanks to our friends at Shady Rays. So who is there's always one player on a big league team that really thinks he can be an NFL architect. Who is that?
It's probably me, to be honest. Especially with the injury, I've just been researching my ass off basically.
Ooh.
So I'm pretty convinced, and I've been playing Madden nonstop. So I'm pretty sure I could build a winning football team. It's all about the draft.
Yeah, you are aware that most teams don't trot out 10 running backs on offense, right?
Yeah, well, when you get 2 running backs in a flex, sometimes you take a lot of running backs. There's a lot of injury prevention there that I was going for.
Okay. Who's your quarterback?
Who is my quarterback? Justin Herbert is my quarterback in that league. I'm in 4 leagues, so my teams kind of run together a little bit.
Is Bobby Witt in this one?
He's in the main team one, yeah.
Is Salvi in it?
No, he's not a big fantasy football guy.
Okay. Anybody that makes it really fun, like fun dude, just maybe not know.
Oh, Zach. I mean, Zach makes it really fun because he sends out at least a trade every day. He sent out 5 yesterday, but he puts time expirations on them. So he'll text the group and say, like, MJ, trade, you have 5 minutes. It's just
Well, you can't say no to like a borderline Hall of Famer, can you?
Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can.
Really?
Yeah, you have to. You got to make business decisions sometimes. It's not personal, it's just business.
So, I have heard that about Greinke that I think it was AJ Ellis, former Dodger catcher, who told me that in between innings he would come and talk to him about like a proposed trade or something. Like that it's on. Does that sound kind of on brand?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. And that's probably why he's so good, too, because he's able to generate his focus on the mound. And then when he's off the mound, be able to take his head different places.
He's a fun guy to have on your team. You are going to be so lucky, like, when you eventually have children and stuff, to say you played with that guy.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
What do you think? Do you think he's going to come back? Because he's awfully close to 3,000 strikeouts.
I don't have a strong enough opinion on it. Like I wouldn't want to say yes and then this somehow make headlines, or say no and then it somehow make headlines, because I have no idea. So I don't even want to speculate on it. It would be cool for him to try to get to 3,000 because he is so close. But he's got to make that decision for himself and his family. So he's at that point now where it's his choice. I mean, like, if he wants to just retire, go ahead. He's made, that's ridiculous. Anybody can just retire at any given time. But he's done so much for this game and in this game for so long now that it's just like, it's hard to see him walking away. But, is he 40 now? Is he 40 yet, or 39?
He's close if he's not quite there.
So, I mean, he's one of the oldest guys in the league. He's still a competitive pitcher. So if he still got that fire, I'd imagine he'd be back.
Yeah. Did I just see your doggy try and get in the screen?
Yeah, I think he was coming to see what I was up to. Now he's drinking some water.
Oh. Did you tell him to come on over if he wants?
Yeah.
Is he going to be in the wedding?
No, he will not be, no.
Really?
He's hard to fly with because he's so big. So it would be tough to get him down there unless anybody's got a private jet that they can loan me for the weekend.
Mr. Sherman?
No, I don't think that one's going to happen.
Did he make the cut?
No.
You don't have to invite all your bosses.
No, he did not make the cut.
How does this go about, by the way, with teammates and stuff?
It's interesting. That's a good question that we've talked about a lot because, it's the same thing with any workspace. You get close with people, and then as soon as they stop working there or you stop working there, you never speak to them again. So it's like, kind of depends on who's on the team at the given time when invitations go out, I guess, and who you're close with on the team, because not everybody on the team's getting invited. We do have a maximum capacity. So, and I do have friends that are not on the team. So, yeah, it's that is an interesting dynamic though. It's like, you never really, first off, I'll never get mad at anybody for not inviting me to their wedding because it's their wedding. They can do whatever they want. So I feel like people should feel the same way. Mm-hmm. But you never want to make anybody mad. Especially if you are friends with them, sometimes things just slip through the cracks. So I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but we'll see. I'm sure I've pissed somebody off.
No, I listen, it's your day. You two can do whatever you want with it and not look back and not feel guilty. Just remember that.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I was just kind of being nice there.
What's the I'm gonna guess the capacity. Let me think here. I'm gonna say you invited. Does she come from a big family?
No, not really.
And you don't either.
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna say the invite's 210.
No, 130 something.
Really?
I wanted it, and by I mean we wanted it to be like not super massive. Just wanted it to be like a fun event, and then go on our honeymoon afterwards and have it be sort of more intimate. I know it's still quite a bit of people, but have a little bit more intimate, have a good time, and then everybody go home.
I was thinking that maybe we'd have a shot of fielding an entire team out in the field, but there's no way if it's 130.
Baseball will be very well represented.
It will be.
Yeah, so that's for sure. It will be very well represented.
Can I have one lock that's on the list? Can I have one or no?
I'm trying to think of.
Whoa. Did I hit a sensitive area?
No, I mean, there's a ton. And just Michael Massey will be there. I can guarantee you for that. I mean, if he's not there, he's a messed up friend because he's in the wedding. So
he's in it. How many groomsmen?
One. So my best man is a guy named Jimmy. I played with him in AAA.
Okay. Joe Jimmy.
My brother.
Nice.
A former teacher of mine, Cam. He's one of my best friends now. He was a young teacher. He was a baseball guy. And then as I went to college, we stayed really close. Okay. We make NFL picks every week still to this day on a spreadsheet.
Jimmy.
And then I'm missing somebody. Oh, and then Massey. So 4.
Okay.
4, I think.
All right. I think I had 6. I just celebrated, Michelle and I just celebrated 26th wedding anniversary recently.
There you go. Perfect.
I believe is the number of years you've been on this planet.
Not yet. Not yet. By the time I get married, yeah. But not yet. I'm still 25. Come on.
That's crazy. I've been married longer than you've been alive.
That's right.
You just ruined my day.
Yeah, that's all right.
I forget how close you are in age to my oldest son.
Mm-hmm.
So strange.
Yeah.
You're old. Like buddies.
It's fine.
Okay, it is good. It's good. It's better for me than it is for you. You're not walking around being like, hey, I've got Chris Rose in my cell phone. I do let people know.
I think I did get asked one time who was the most famous person on my phone. I think I said you.
You did say that, but that's changed since then because I think that you've probably upgraded.
I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't think so.
I will, this won't hurt at all, but you are not the most famous person on my phone.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm not famous, so it would be tough to be the most
You are famous. Person. That's not true. There was that person wearing a Pasquantino jersey, and you were like,
that's right. There was that one person that was wearing that. Good point. Yeah.
I would say, do you want to know who the most famous person on my phone is?
Yeah, sure.
There's a couple that I think could tie for one, but I think there's one clear one. So Kershaw is in it.
Good one.
Trout is in it.
Good one.
Deion is in it.
Ooh. No way he has one phone, though, right?
Here's the interesting thing about Deion. He is very, very quiet. People think that he is always prime time. He is not that. That is not who he is. And he'll be the first one to tell you that. He says there are two different, there's Deion and there's Prime. So Deion would come in on Sundays, and he's very nice to everybody, super nice, appreciative, gives everybody, hugs, thank you, everything. And not everybody does that. I say that because not everybody does that. But Deion is constantly on the phone because he is such a big mentor to so many young people. Mm-hmm. That is not bullshit. That is real. That is real. People, and when we did the show together, he would do these Zooms with people after the games. And if they didn't know Deion personally, they'd see the phone, and it was like they were speaking to a football god.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, my God, I get to talk to Deion Sanders. There's one of those guys walking the planet. It's it. He is one of one.
I didn't realize that he played in the big leagues for 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
And really? I also didn't know he played wide receiver.
Oh, yeah. He caught a pass in the Super Bowl, a 50-yard pass in Super Bowl 30.
like I had heard all the stuff about him, but I thought it was more like oh yeah, he did this like once, but it was like, no, it's just before my time, I guess.
Right. So it was two guys that played at the same era that played two different sports, and we will never see it again. And it was Deion and the guy who played in your city and Bo Jackson. And I'm just telling you that for those 4 years where Bo was healthy and then Deion was doing his thing, it was unbelievable. An unbelievable stretch in the history of sports. Like, just to see some of the shit that Bo would do, oh my God. Incredible. The way he would run around and run up walls to catch it, to throw guys out, to hit the ball.
There was like and because I never saw them play, I'll never be able to speak on it accurately, but I think there was a documentary about Bo or something, and it said he hit the top of the scoreboard at Kauffman Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen. There's just no way that happened. Like, it's not possible. It's not. I don't. And that's where it's like, for me, these guys are myths because I didn't get to see it, but I have seen Kauffman Stadium, and I have seen Christian Walker and Salvador Perez hit balls over the second batter's eye, and they hit them 112 at a 28-degree launch, and they barely go over the second batter's eye. He wasn't touching the top of the scoreboard. I can tell you that for a fact.
It's amazing. I think it was one of those games where back then, not every game was on TV. So you would have a local camera that would shoot from behind home plate, but like 60 floors up. Like, it's just a terrible camera angle. So if the guys, whoever's shooting the game, isn't following where the ball is, it's just all you see is the guy making the swing and then the guy running around the bases for the home run. So it was probably one of those days. If it happened, that's when it happened.
Yeah, so it didn't happen. Not to be too big of a hater, but just like myths are cool and everything if there's somewhat of a realism to them. That's why it's like hard for me to fathom these guys who did all these incredible things, because I just didn't see it live. And then the stories you hear are just like, it's not possible that he hit a ball up there. It's just simply not. So it's like, it's hard for me to picture things that happen.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy, we are back with another week of football, and DraftKings Sportsbook is keeping us in on the NFL action with great offers every single game. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Throw $5 down on any of this week's epic matchups to walk away with an instant winner. And DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of two new offers every game day this September. Football's more fun when you're in on the action, so download the app now and sign up with code ROSE. And new customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, with code ROSE. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility. Terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Now back to the show.
Couple things. How's the morale on your team? You already lost 100 games. You got 2.5 weeks to go in the season. I know you're not a part of the daily, like, let's go sit in the dugout together. You're kind of removed from it. Everybody doing okay?
No, but I think it would be weird if I said yes. Like, mentality wise, guys are still showing up every day, ready to attack the day. But I think there's just been so much of, you just look at it, it's been bad. We need to win 10 of our next 15 to not break the franchise record for losses, something like that. But the good thing is about the team is I don't think anybody really knows that. I more so know that because I'm not connected to the team right now. So it's like I see some different things that guys in the team probably don't see. I've been in a few meetings when we've had home games and they've gone well, and we've had good results right after those meetings. I just think it's one of those things where it's just, you call a spade a spade. We were And I can really only speak personally on when I really played, because I think it would be unfair to speak on when I haven't played. We've just been bad all year. There's been bright spots. There's been really bright spots, and there's been really low spots for us as a team. So it's not our job to no, let me rephrase. It is our job to go win games. That's what our job is. We don't make the roster. We don't make moves. We go play, and our job is to go win games, and we did a bad job of that this year. And we have 3 weeks left. Guys are attacking each day. That's where it is positive in the clubhouse, is guys are looking towards that day, not what happened yesterday, not what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen today. So that's a good mindset. And then you kind of look at it and you say, all right, like as a team, we just got to be better next year, and that's on us to figure out a way to win more games.
Okay. Thank you. There's some interesting stuff going on around the bigs. Knowing how hard it is to win a ball game, let alone 100 of them like the Atlanta Braves are going to win, let alone winning 6 straight NL East crowns, do they have to win? I think it's probably Braves and Dodgers that have to win this year, the whole thing, in order to up the narrative of what they've been over the last decade. Is that fair or unfair?
Yeah, I think that's fair, more so towards the Dodgers and the Braves, because the Braves are still relatively young, and they've got their guys locked up. So the Dodgers are a little bit older. They've got the 2 best players in this, both teams have some of the best players in the sport. But when you look at that 1-2 punch that the Dodgers have, it's just ridiculous. Not that Matt Olson and Acuna aren't ridiculous in their own right, too. You're looking at 4 certified MVP candidates between the 2 teams. I just feel like the Dodgers probably needed a little bit more, even though they won it in 2020. Whereas the Braves, it seems like who's going to stop them over the next few years? Mm-hmm. Kershaw's only 34 or 35, right? So, realistically, he could pitch for a few more years. You just never know with health and kind of where he's at, what he wants to do. So I know that LA would like to see him win another one. But I think if those 2 are playing in the NLCS, it's going to be a crazy series, as it has been over the past anyway. And it'll be a really fun series to see who the better team is.
Did you see both the Braves and the Dodgers play in person? I know the Dodgers came to Kansas City.
I personally did play against the Braves, and I watched us beat the Dodgers.
Okay. If you had an MVP vote, and I know that you don't watch them both on a nightly basis, but Mookie Betts, Ronald Acuna, where's the differentiation for you if you were a voter?
I just don't know what the way they vote is. Like, if you're looking at WAR, it's Mookie Betts right now, I believe, across the board. I haven't done enough research on it to know, but I believe him across the board. But Acuna is going to go 40-80 this year. Like, that's absurd. I think he's going to go 40-80. I think he just got to 30-70. I think he's got like 37, 38 home runs right now, but he's closing in on 80 bags. So you would think he'll get to 40-80. Has that ever been done before? Probably not.
He was the first 30-60 guy.
Yeah, and sorry that my baseball knowledge is kind of bad right now. It's just hard to pay attention when, you know how it is. But, some of the stuff these guys are doing, like, obviously as a first baseman, I lock in a lot on what Freddie Freeman does. And, like, he just has the Dodgers record for doubles now. Did he get the MLB record, or was it just the Dodgers record?
It's just the Dodgers record, I believe, since they moved to L.A.
But then what Mookie Betts has especially done since May, it's like, you've got 2 guys in Acuna and Betts where it's both their slam dunks. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. Technically speaking, stolen bases aren't as valuable as what they were even a year ago, just because more guys are stealing more bases. Mm-hmm. But still, if you go 40-80, that's just ridiculous. And I guess this is where the analytics come into play, is like, well, does defense matter?
Okay, because so let me ask you this. For a guy who plays in the infield, how important is positional versatility to you? Meaning, Mookie Betts one night can be playing Gold Glove right field, can be playing a well above average second base, and can even fill in a half dozen times as a starter at shortstop. How important is that?
Yeah. I think it's something that you get points for, but if you're Acuna, you don't get points taken away from you.
I'm asking you as a major leaguer, how much do you value somebody doing that on your team?
I think it's valued a ton. Now, I say that with a chip on my shoulder that I only play one position. And the only
so
other
do most
position
people.
So like part of me out of jealousy is like, screw you, play your position. But like it's super valuable because one, it gives guys off days, which is important. I'm not saying that as in I want off days, but like some guys need to get off their feet. Like the data has shown that makes guys better. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy that he can do that. I mean, it's just like, it's not Ohtani, but it's something that you don't really see all that often from an MVP candidate of being able to go play a different spot at a high level on any given night. It's just what LA can do with that kind of versatility changes their lineup. And it's just, yeah, it's definitely important to have guys who can do multiple things and be Swiss Army knives, especially if your Swiss Army knife is going to win the MVP.
Okay. Bryce Harper shaved his beard when he was in an 0 for 16 slump, I believe.
Yeah, that's a long 4 days. I could tell you that. I went 0 for 19, I think, this year. I think that was my longest one. I had 2 long ones this year. I shaved my face. Nobody notices because I don't have a good beard, but I did shave my face for one of them. And then the other one, I don't think I did anything for the other one. I try not to get too superstitious, but I do know how long those days get when you can't get a hit. So I get it. Good for him making a decision to try to get some good mojo going.
Okay, would you have shaved your head if it had allowed you to hit 400 in a month?
Yeah, not even a question.
Would you have shaved your eyebrows?
Yeah.
Would you have shaved your entire body?
Yep.
For the full season, if you could just be guaranteed to hit 400 for one of those months?
Well, I guess, I mean, it depends. I would need to see the full picture before I could answer that question full honesty.
Let's say that you you could be guaranteed an OPS of 875 for the year.
Yeah, I would do it. I think I can have an 875 OPS anyway, yes. But if it guaranteed one, absolutely.
Your whole year, you would have to go no hair.
That's fine. You think I give a shit what I look like? I just want to perform.
Where's your fiance?
I don't know. Far away.
What would she be willing to give up? Would she be willing to live with a ferret for a year in order for you to have an OPS of 875?
I think we probably have to point to the financials of what guys with 875 OPS is bringing in on a given basis, and then she could probably answer that question more honestly.
I almost want an answer from her, to be honest.
I'll get one from you after the podcast.
Okay. Speaking of looking that way, did you see the AI? I don't even know what we call them at the Chargers game over the weekend.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get what we're trying to do. There's been too many movies, not that movies are real, but there's been too many movies about these things killing all of us. So I don't understand the fascination. Don't like it.
You have to sit next to one of these for a Jets game. Do you do it?
Well, I don't really have a choice. I don't think. I think I probably have to. Luckily, my seats give me the ability to move to a different spot if I want to. So, but no,
do you ask for your money back? Do you ask for your money back? If one of these sat next to you, would you ask for your money back?
I would just send a very meanly worded email to somebody and be like, "What are we doing here? Can we not have robots in the building when I'm trying to watch Zach Wilson lead the Jets to the Super Bowl?"
Or why is Albert Pujols sitting next to me?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
One of those. I got to be honest with you. When I saw those, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And I work right next door to those things. So I was like, they're always going to find the slowest person in the room, which is me. I don't care what room I'm in right now. I'm the slowest person because of my back issue. That thing's coming to destroy me. I'm gonna be the one where its limbs getting pulled off.
I just hope when they eventually do decide to kill us, they do it efficiently and just like stab me in the heart or something instead of like what a bear would do and just like slowly eat you.
Do you think that's what happens with a bear?
I'm pretty sure like they just kind of, I mean, they, control you and then just start eating you from what I've heard. I don't know too many people that have been attacked by bears though, so I'm not the expert.
Are you one with wilderness?
No, I'm not going to say my fears on a podcast.
Is that because you're afraid they'll come true?
Maybe. I mean, I don't have anything against the forest. I just I prefer to not be in one.
Last time you went camping?
Never.
Never?
I've never been camping.
You've never stayed a night in a tent?
No. I stayed the night in a tent in somebody's backyard one time.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, so no, I've never have.
Whose backyard?
My friend Josh.
How old?
High school.
Did you drink beer that night?
No. Surprise! I wasn't the most fun in high school.
That's good. That's very, very good. I'm proud of you.
Hey, thanks.
I am dying to know if there's anything interesting in the cupboards behind you.
I don't think so. There's my AT&T fiber kit. Can't wait to return that. There's a book, another Ethernet cable, some bubble wrap. So no, not really. There's not a whole lot going on in my life right now.
So your days essentially are rehab, rest, watch the Royals games, check your fantasy lineup, pray that nobody else on the Jets gets hurt, and probably check off 1 or 2 boxes a day on wedding planning. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I can give you a rundown of my day. It's very easy. If the team's on the road, we rehab in the morning. So I get up, take the dog on a walk, come home, feed the dog, go get coffee, bring coffee back for Ryan, go to rehab for about 2 to 3 hours, depending on what I have that day, go home, sit there for a while, make some lunch at some point, sit there for a while some more, take the dog out again 1 or 2 more times, then make dinner or go to dinner, have the Royals game on, whatever time that game is at, sit there for a while, take the dog out one last time, sit there for a while again, and then go to sleep.
The glorious life of a major leaguer.
It's we're living. I can tell you that.
I am rooting so hard for you to get back on that field next spring. I just cannot wait for it, man.
Me too. I'm very excited.
I know. 2 other things. We did not have a chance to see each other in person when Browns played the Chiefs. You were at the game at Arrowhead. We just didn't have time. The night before, you were dog tired. I had the biggest food baby in me. I don't eat barbecue the way that I did that night. I'll give it a shout out because it was really good. Q39. We went out for team dinner. And the problem is when you sit next to Joe Thomas, I know he looks amazing right now. I've never seen a human consume as much food and alcohol as that guy does in a sitting. So I tried to keep up. And I woke up at 3 a.m. and I wish that there had been surgeons there to remove the food that was in my belly.
Yeah. We've all been there. That's I mean, Kansas City barbecue will get you. That's for sure. You guys went to where'd you go again? You told me.
Q39.
Yeah, Q39 does it right too. So I'm sure that you guys got a nice meal from there, and they've got good portion sizes. So yeah, you're gonna feel it.
I felt it. I mean, I had the meat sweats. Both Joe and I had the meat sweats, and it was an early game the next day.
Yeah.
We were hurt. The other thing is, well, I believe when we had you on last, maybe it was the time before, whatever, the clip of you asking Ryan all those shotgun questions like, am I busy then? Am I doing this? Do I do that? Remember that little clip?
Yeah.
You know that has received nearly 2 million views on TikTok?
I knew it did pretty good. I didn't know it got 2 million views. That's pretty good.
Would you like to share with Ryan that she is now a TikTok celebrity?
She left. She literally, I just heard the door shut. So I guess I'll tell her later. Yeah.
I was trying to make her a celeb yet again and have her answer whether or not a hairless Vinny is worth living.
Yeah.
If he has an 875 OPS.
Yeah, the answer is yes. And if she says no to that, she's wrong.
That's not like wedding off material, is it?
No. 875 OPS is good for everybody. It's good for the Royals. It's good for me. It's good for Ryan. It's good for the fans. It's good for us. It's good for everybody.
Oh, I love this. I love this. Well, listen, I hope that you feel well. I want you to continue to rehab well. Go get your nap in. I appreciate you doing this. You could just crawl in the cupboard behind you and go shut up and take a nap if you want. I'll be curious about Ryan's answer on living with a ferret. And I wish the Jets good luck. By the time this airs, they will have probably been blown out already by Dallas.
Yeah. But I'll be watching. I'll be rooting them on. So yeah. Thanks for having me on again.
You might have to give a little synopsis of the playoffs when we get there. Maybe you could give a little breakdown.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. That'd be really good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you look like you're about to pass out, so I need.
Yeah, I might.
We need to tuck you in. Say lady night.
Yeah.
For our amazing producer, Robbie Scirocco, and for the very, very tired Vinnie Pasquantino. I am Chris Rose. We will see you next time here on the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media.